Hi guys, I'm recording this video in a new device, so I'm not sure about the quality, but I haven't recorded video in many years. I have taken a big break because sincerely I was not doing anything that really was adding to anybody. I was just in a moment of my life that I was just transitioned from one property to another one, accommodating the house, and I couldn't keep up. Even when I'm not doing this for a monetary reason, I just doing just to share a little bit of my life. If you have watched my previous video many years ago, I'm telling you a little bit about it. I started recording videos in 2019 when I was diagnosed with a stage 4 breast cancer. And what I did a little bit at the beginning of the treatment, what mentally was going on in my head, and what it was I was doing medically. And I can say that, I guess as you can see today, I am perfectly fine. I'm still, even when the illness haven't completely removed, I'm not being 100% in remission or anything remotely, but I have been able to maintain my health and control this illness and the way that I'm able to, keep moving and keep doing my life normally. Usually when you get a diagnosis of the stage 4, what I have is the breast cancer. They tell you have no much time, basically. They really not wanted to give you, a period of time, because nobody knows in reality. But they put it in your mind that you don't have much time. And as you can see, today is 2026, and I was diagnosed in 2019. So there's many people that live longer because of treatment, medications, and if you change your way of life, and basically what it works for me was change the way that I manage stress, and also my diet, and those factors are the main reason that I feel myself I'm standing here, and I feel myself lucky to be here and be able to share this with you. Kind of a little bit of background why I have decided to post a new video again is because it's something occurred to me today, and I just decided enough is enough. And I have kept quiet for quite a long time, but I don't not longer wanted to keep quiet regarding these situations that I'm gonna share with you, because involve what I was going through, and my personal dealing with this illness, and basically my job. As I say, I was diagnosed in 2019. And then at that moment, I was working for a company that was owned by a family in Florida. And this family, when the pandemic started, decided to sell the company to United Healthcare. And we were absorbed by United Healthcare at that moment in 2020. I think it was the merging in 2020. And most of the employees that were working in this company went to be part of United Healthcare. And I was working in IT, and I continued working in the same position that I was working prior, doing the same job. But here's the clarification, which I didn't realize immediately. When this company was sold to United Healthcare and we were merging, my position in United Healthcare went from being a quality assurance to be an associate quality assurance, which means a demotion. They didn't touch my salary. They did not touch anything that I was performing at that time. All my duties stayed the same, and the people that I was working were exactly the same. Nothing changed internally, but overall, I didn't realize. This is something that, it just didn't occur to me. And then I brought it up in one situation to someone, and then they literally said to me, well, you've been demoted, because when they put associate in your title, it's because you basically are doing your job and you need help from somebody else, or you receive support from people above you. And that was not the case. I was at that time in 2020, I was working literally since 2013 in that company. And I did not need help to do my job. I was doing my job independently. When I realized that this was happening, I, of course, immediately reached out to my direct manager, and I told him that this is what I noticed. And basically, this person was never a person that really do anything for any employee. I will call himself coward, a type of guy that is so afraid to lose his job that does not care about anybody else. And the person that was above him was, all these people were working with me since 2013. They all knew me. They all knew that in 2019 I got diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And the thing was that these people thought that I was, would be demise, and probably in a year or less than a year. When it didn't happen, I guess they feel disappointed, because I have to say, even if it's sad to say this, I have to say that those people felt disappointed that I didn't die. That's how I felt. They did not feel happy that I was still alive. And it was a sad situation, because I never had a bad relationship with them. It was nothing that, attention or anything like that. I actually loved my job up until that moment. But I noticed the change on them. They, I started noticing, a distance. And because of the pandemic, everybody went to work from home. And we didn't have the closeness that we could have before, seeing face to face every day. So kind of like everybody is in their own house, doing their job. And unfortunately, that create, a distance between people. Even when you knew each other for many years, it's just people tends to, just kind of distance themselves. And I'm fine. It's just I didn't consider any of those people friends of mine. I just thought that they were, have compassion. This is a normal thing that, anybody that's going through a hard time expected to somebody else to feel compassion. No, not to put myself as a victim, but to feel compassion. And unfortunately, from that time in 2020, when the pandemic happened, when the merger with this company happened, and I noticed that, the change in my title and the different treatment that I started receiving, of course, I retrieved myself. I was, working from home, and so I was feeling a little bit protective in the way that I was doing my job, but I didn't have to socialize with them. And things become, down the hill from that point on. Not immediately, but there were things that weren't right. I continued doing my job as normally I did before. I was, completing everything that I needed to do. But it happened that in 2019, I took 3 months to do a treatment, which is, the short-term disability time that you are able to take. And in 2021, I needed to take again treatment, time again for treatment at the end of the year in 2021. And that is when I noticed, that these people that are, my manager and the person above of him, the director of the department, did not treat me well, did not like me to take another time for treatment. And things start getting, aggravated from that point on even more. And last year, to make the story short, many things happen in between, many things that try to just damage my career. I remember in 2022 when I realized the change of title, and they didn't want to do anything about it. They didn't want to help me to correct it with United Healthcare. They were keeping blame. This happened for the transition. This happened when we were merged from this company to United Healthcare. I noticed that they didn't want to help me to correct that. The situation becomes, unbearable. But of course, at that point, as you can imagine, I was depending on my insurance because of treatment, and of course, a salary, my livelihood. And it was not a reason for me to quit my job. I did not want to quit and to give them the pleasure to, go away. And I thought multiple times, if they are not want me to continue in the company, they need to find a reason to fire me or, do something. And of course, they start, doing things in the back that as employee, you really don't notice immediately. There were little things that I could notice, but no directly things. It was things that are done in the back. And I'm tired. Today, I could say that United Healthcare and all the companies, sisters of United Healthcare, I have just filled my quote for patient. And I'm gonna do a follow-up video telling you exactly what's taking me to this situation today, because I really need help in the way that I would like to find people that are have dealt with this situation with United Healthcare, or have deal with any similar situation. There's actually three different things that have happened with United Healthcare, and what I was telling you right now is what have happened regarding my employment. I was an employee of United Healthcare, and they started doing things which I found it very unethical. And I blame directly to the manager that I had and the director that I have, basically because they were, directly involved with me, and they were the ones that knew what was going on in my life and my health. In 2022, when I realized the change of titles, I had a meeting with my manager. I, say why, what I can do on my end to be able to change the title, to get a promotion, because I thought, okay, maybe I needed to, advance in my profession, take some certification, do something, do a work just to, prove the company that I care about my job, that I care about what I do. So since 2022 to 2025, I took a total of 56 certification in total. And we're talking about certifications regarding, database management, of course, software engineering, language, all kind. I took certification to become a software developer, a Ruby developer, and those are the language that we're, using at that time, a React developer, all kind of certification that I was interested in, learning. And nobody cares. Anything that I did not add one iota of help in my favor. This is what sometimes as an employee we think, okay, I'm going to show the company this, I'm going to do this just to show that I care, that I want to grow, but it didn't care. My career was over for them, regardless of what I could do, or whatever certification I could achieve, and whatever knowledge I could accomplish. They did not care. They did not care. I finally, in 2024, I gave up in the way that I say, I'm going to do it for me. I'm not going to do it for them. I did try to look for jobs in other companies, but it was not an easy movement to do, because after you're working for more than 10 years in a company, and at that time was working for 12 years, I believe, you have a lot of benefits because of the number of years that you've been working for that company, the times, the PTO times that you have. And for me, were very important, those benefits, because I really needed to do treatment, to take care of my son, and stuff like that. So it was a difficult time. I needed to take a decision, but it was not something that I was, looking forward, just resign and looking for. It would be a different thing, so I would be able to find another job, but it was just kind of tight situation. So, and I was not constantly applying to other jobs. And in 2025, at the beginning of 2025, I had my normal annual review, and literally they lied in my review. They basically state that I, from all the projects that I was supposed to accomplish in 2024, I only accomplished 10 projects, which were below the level of the rest of my coworkers. That took me by surprise, not only by surprise, but also like a shock, because I said, this is not true. So I did my analysis and I went back, and fortunately in IT, we use systems that track all the projects that you work on. Is your name on the projects, is your submissions of documentations that you submit when you finish the projects. So I went back and tracked all the projects in 2024, and I ended up counting, there were in total 22 projects done on my name. And when I compare with my coworkers, I ended up realizing that I was the one that I did the most of the projects. I had 3 other coworkers, and one did 12 projects, the other did 15 projects, and the third person did only 2 projects in the whole year. So with that proof, I presented to my manager and I say, you made a mistake. This is not real. What you have stated in my review is not real. He acknowledged that verbally, but say that he cannot correct it because it was already submitted. Not only that was an unfair review and a totally lie in my face, but also they state that because of my interaction with them and my insistence and correct the things that they did wrong, they put me in a level that I need improvement in my review. And of course, that review damaged completely, any possibility to look for a job inside the company or outside the company, because literally they can show, to any company that you are not a valuable employee when it's not true at all. So I submitted a dispute for the review, and I'm gonna upload the whole conversation that I had with the evaluation of that review, and how United Healthcare is a joke of the company, and they do not care. They do not care about any employee that work for that company. Not only for United Healthcare, but Optum as well, or any other company related to them. They do not care. They do not care one iota of an employee, regardless of what they said, of anybody feels. They do not care. If they can replace you with an Indian guy and pay less to a remote guy in India, they will do that. Okay, they're gonna change any American worker for any Indian guy, and they will pay less. So basically that was the situation. 2025, I find myself with just not only in shock, but betrayed, completely betrayed by it. Because I was expected then maybe don't care about my illness or, whatever happened, physically to me, but lied to the point to damage my reputation and damage the only thing that I was caring about it with the company. Show me the type of people that I was dealing with. And of course, the shock of that situation and all the stress that brought to me, I I immediately needed to have time off just to unwind myself again, because I could not deal with the shock that that situation put me through. And I took 3 months again, and at that point I literally did not care if they like it or not. I said, this is my ride and I will take it. So I took 3 months and I did some radiation through that period because my metastases unfortunately have moved to the bone in my cervical and the lumbar area. So I needed to have some radiation just to try to minimize the pain. And when I came back, I restained myself, my position on June 16, and on July 24, I believe it was, they informed me that I was laid off for business reason. And it was not, they did not fire me because they did not have any valuable reason. They did not have anything valuable to fire me. I did not do anything wrong. But they laid off, and they say that it was because the AI was taking over my job and there was other people being laid off at the same time, which was a lie, completely lie. And that is my situation at this time. You know, I lost my job in August. They actually told me that I did not have to continue working by the end of that conversation in July. At the end of July, they were paying me until August 8th, and I was having my insurance until the end of August that year. And that was what United Healthcare did to me, not only as an employee but as a human being. How they treat me, how they lied regarding my performance, and they are continue doing damages to me even as today. I am not afraid of this company. I am not afraid of them. I think it's not like they are targeting me, but they're not gonna let go. And I can explain to you in the future videos. You will understand why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. So if any of you have going through a situation with United Healthcare, being an employee or being a member of their service, I would like to hear from you. Put your comments in the comment section, and I wanted to get in touch with you. I wanted to hear your story, and because I do believe that if something can be done, I know that, but I would like to know if there's any other person. I find hard to believe that all the employees or past employees of United Healthcare have been treating well and with love. So anyway, subscribe to my channel, put the comments in the comments area if you would like me to read them, and I will post a following video telling you what is going on next. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.